This is Hyundai Kona, yet another crossover on the verge of B and C segments. You think KIA Stonic and Volkswagen T-Roc look modern and edgy? Take a look at this guy. Hyundai Kona has even more sharp lines and creases. In the front, it has not just 2, but 6 lights. LED day running lights, LED headlights and fog lights. And there are also 2 reflectors on the front sides. In the back, Kona gets LED tail lamps. If you're wondering, this intake over the grille is fake, but from a distance it looks as if the Kona was powered at least by a V6. Instead, it has a 1-liter 3-cylinder engine producing 122 horsepower or a 1.6 4-banger kicking out 177 horses. The former works with a 6-speed manual, the latter with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. The more powerful version gets all-wheel drive, the 1-liter gets front-wheel drive. And this test unit is the front-wheel drive 1.0-liter version. It's the top premium trim, which means you only have to pay extra for the paint, for a black roof, orange bits of trim here in the interior and sat-nav. And these safety systems are standard actually. We'll talk about them in a minute. Now this car, as it is here, will set you back around 27,000 euro, which is a couple of grand less than a comparably spec'd Volkswagen T-Roc. Like T-Roc and Stonic, also Kona is more of a means of transport than a driver's car. It's a funky take on Opel's middle-of-the-road vibe. You press the accelerator, it goes, you press the brake, it stops. And when you turn the wheel, it sort of changes direction, right? But it's not particularly involving, so don't be misled by the edgy exterior design. Seats are comfortable, but lack proper lateral support. They are heated and ventilated. The steering wheel is also heated, something I really appreciate in the winter. It's minus 10 degrees right now, even though the sun is shining. The gear has a short throw, gears engage easily, but it's all somehow artificial. With 0 to 100 km per hour time of 12 seconds, you're not going to be breaking any quarter-mile records. But the 1-liter 3-banger is relatively efficient. Compared to what? I recently tested a 125 horsepower 1.0 EcoBoost Ford Fiesta. Ford claimed average fuel consumption of 4.3 liters per 100 kilometers, but I averaged more than 7. Hyundai promises 5.2 liters combined, but I'm still getting over 7. However, this time it's much colder and Kona is considerably heavier than Fiesta. Speaking of cold, the engine tends to make this kind of humming noise when cold. Maybe it's the turbine. I asked Hyundai about it, but they never got back to me. My colleague testing this car before me also noticed this humming noise. It subsides as the engine warms up. Visibility is decent. Premium trim also gets HUD, which shows information from sat-nav and driver aid systems. I wonder, how does Hyundai and Kia sat-nav work in Western Europe? In Poland, it led me to a wrong address. Or, for example, it made me turn up a no-turn sign. Fortunately, there's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which are usually more reliable. As far as traffic sign information is concerned, it's just information, not recognition. So if the map is not up to date, neither is traffic sign information. I like high-res parking camera, but you have to clean it by yourself. There's no washer. As far as driver aids are concerned, you get things like blind spot monitoring, which is a bit too aggressive and too loud for my liking. And then there is lane keeping assist, which at first sort of keeps you in your lane, so I can let go of the steering wheel and it should steer itself for a bit. Look, now here's a corner and then you'll hear what happened. No, you won't, because there is a car. So let's just say that when you cross the line, it'll beep. But see, it corrects me. Okay, then it beeps. I would rather like it vibrated rather than beeped, because I have the tendency to cut corners quite often, but yeah, it is what it is. Suspension is getting better by the model. For years I've been complaining about Kia and Hyundai cars having problems with damping when their roads get rougher. But Kona is probably the best car so far as suspension and damping is concerned, and this is even though this car rides on 18-inch alloys, which come as standard in the premium trim. As far as suspension goes, in the front you get McPherson's strut, and in the back there is a twist beam for this 1.0 liter engine, and for the 1.6 all-wheel drive model you get a beep. No, you get independent rear suspension. Okay, so we've established Hyundai Kona is sort of average to drive, but is it practical?
Dashboard is clean and simple. Classic round dials with a screen between them. Infotainment system is relatively easy to use. There is average size glove box, average size storage under the armrest, a couple of cup holders, a place to put and charge your smartphone because this Hyundai gets induction charging. Door bins are also adequate. Seats are electrically operated, but without memory function, they're useless. If the car is driven by more than one person, Hyundai could have saved money and dropped electric seats altogether, but I guess it looks better in the brochure. There is sufficient legroom and headroom in the back. There are also door bins and an armrest with cup holders. I wouldn't mind an additional 12-volt socket or a USB port. The boot has 361 liters capacity, probably more with a repair kit instead of this mini spare. There is some storage under the floor as well, but there is only one shopping bag hook. Good thing the cargo net doesn't block the floor. Fold the back seats and you get 1,143 liters of flat cargo space. Hyundai Kona prices start at €17,500. 1.6 DCT all-wheel drive model is about €5,000 more expensive than the respective 1.0 front-wheel drive manual version. Kona is slightly more expensive than the Stonic, slightly cheaper than T-Roc. Average.
This premium mediocre car is hidden in an edgy looking body. Is cool design enough for you, or maybe you just want your car to be average but functional?
Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. New reviews every Friday and additional materials on Tuesdays. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.